It is Elimination Sunday today here at Talladega Superspeedway, as today we are going to figure out which 8 drivers move on to compete in the round of 8, which will consist of Martinsville, the biggest wild card at the Texas Roval, the new Texas Roval layout, and Phoenix to decide who will compete in Miami. Last time out, Jimmy Johnson earned his 3rd victory of the year, advancing him to the round of 8. All Sterling Marlin and Jeff Gordon need to do to get in to the round, finish. You got Kurt Busch, Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, and Kevin Harvick hanging on. Kurt Busch, Rusty Wallace, Jeremy Mayfield, and Kevin Harvick are the other 4 drivers. They're just looking to survive. And the other 4 that are on the outside, you got Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, and Mr. Restrictor Plate himself, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Elliott and Earnhardt Jr., after poor runs at Lowe's, need to win today if they want to continue into the round of 8. Anything can happen, as it has been common practice here at Talladega. Anyone can win, as we saw in the spring. As we saw in the spring race. So, corners banked higher, banked 33 degrees. Talladega has 33 degrees of banking in the corners, 18 degrees on the front, 2 degrees on the banking on the back. Today's race will pay $166,000 to the winner. Damn it. This place opened in 1969 and will seat 143,000 people. Track record here was Bill Elliott's famous 212-mile-an-hour lap set in April of 1987. We're going to try to beat that lap. Dylan Murway and Jimmy Johnson are through to the round of 8, so if they were to run into trouble today, it won't hurt them. It wouldn't hurt them. All Sterling Marlin and Jeff Gordon need to do, finish the race no matter where, because they got enough points if anything stupid were to happen to them. Marlin, based on laps led at Charlotte and his top 5s from California, from the race at California beforehand, plus him leading the first 30 laps at Lowe's, and Jeff Gordon with his top 5 runs at Lowe's as well. Both of them are good to make it into the round of 8 if they finish today's race. Or when all they need to do is finish. After that first lap, that puts us 21st on the grid. We're going to try to make up some time here going into 3. Keep in mind, every first lap here at Talladega and Daytona, due to the restrictor plates, almost always is a throwaway lap, because you're just getting up to speed, versus other tracks where you actually have to worry about your brakes. So this will put us in the 18th position. And let's go trackside.
Welcome to today's NASCAR Winston Cup Series event, the EA Sports 500, live on MRN from the Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. And Barney, this track always manages to produce some white-knuckle moments.
Let me sum it up for you all. 2.6 miles, 4 lanes, 190 miles an hour. Just doesn't get much better. Let's just hope these guys can stay out of the big one.
The Hills Brothers Coffee Car comes to the track with the hopes of maintaining his top 5 points position.
Gaining on the leader is tough when you are in the top 5 in points. It takes you having a good race and the leader having a bad one in order to gain anything substantial.
Terry Labonte has been called the Iceman because of his cool demeanor under pressure. But maybe the nickname Iron Man is more appropriate.
You know, that's right. Labonte set a record for consecutive race starts with 655. That's over 20 years without missing a race.
John Andretti really needs a good finish in this race. He's got a long way to go on the points list.
And, of course, nobody wants to be on the bottom of that points list. You'll have to work extra hard to pick up spots. Not an easy task to dig yourself out of a hole in this series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, here's the starting lineup.
In the front row are the Mark Martin Ford and the Dale Jr. Chevrolet. In the second row are the 98 car and the Home Depot Pontiac. Jeff Gordon, this season's point leader, will be starting from the 5th place. In row 4 are the America Online Chevrolet and the 26 car. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the Team Rusty Ford and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. The 6th row has the GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet and the Lowe Chevrolet. In row 7 are the Singular Wireless Chevrolet and the Motorcraft Ford. Starting the race from row 8 are the Valvoline Pontiac and the Ganassi Racing Dodge. And in row 9 are the Interstate Batteries Pontiac and the Hills Brothers Company car. Starting in row 10 will be the Alltel Ford and the 27 car. In row 11 are the 46 car and the UPS Ford. In row 12 are the Applin Ford and the 63 car. Row 13 finds the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the Target Dodge. The 14th row has the 55 car and the Tide Ford. In row 15 are the Rubbermaid Ford and the Kellogg Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 16 are the Citgo Ford and the DeWalt Power Tools Ford. Row 17 has the Dodge Dealers UAW Dodge and the Caterpillar Dodge. Starting at row 18 will be the Dodge Dealers UAW Dodge and the 37 car. In row 19 are the Sprint Dodge and the Cheerios Dodge. In row 20 are the UAW Delphi Chevrolet and the Kodak Chevrolet. Back in row 21 we have the 7 car and the 16 car. And rounding out the field is the 49 car.
47 laps this afternoon here in the EA Sports 500. At the end of the day, 12 drivers will become 8 at the checkered flag at one of NASCAR's most chaotic racetracks. Anything can happen. One slip up, just one mistake can take many drivers out of contention. Mark Martin and Dale Jr. lead them down, and we are underway here at Talladega. Wow, that outside lane's not really having a whole lot of momentum when even though you got Tony Stewart and Earnhardt Jr. to the top side. On the top, those two are our friends. Usually see them working together. Kind of surprising to see the outside lane not be as disorganized, but a lot of drivers are moving up there now. You see Jeff Gordon tucking in behind the 36 of Ken Schrader. But you got that inside lane that's currently looks like it's got the 6 of Mark Martin up ahead. Or 20 of Tony Stewart leading on the inside. Mark Martin trying to make a third lane by himself. Jeff Green tried peeking out of line there. Oh, Green into the pack already. And big crash. Exactly what we talked about out in the countdown. These big runs that drivers get, drivers have to really control the runs they get. One car check is slower. One car is 3 or 4 miles an hour faster. One car gets turned. Multiple drivers get damaged. Jeff Green is upside down in turn 3. Rusty Wallace is the other car involved. Caution is out. Rusty Wallace, the first playoff driver to get taken out in a wreck today at Talladega. Pace car is off. Green flag back into the air. Mark Martin with the lead. So yeah, it basically what happened was Green checked up for some reason because there was something going on up ahead, and Dillon ran into the back of him, turning Green into Rusty Wallace. They're lucky the way that how tightly packed that group was. They're lucky it wasn't a bigger wreck like it could have been. So Rusty Wallace becomes the first driver to have problems today. He is one of the drivers that was caught up in that wreck on lap 2 with Jeff Green. Could be one of many interesting storylines today. Another thing to watch out for, if Junior and Waltrip get near each other on the racetrack. Those two have been very good in the past of these restrictor plate races. And if the 8 and the 15 get near each other, look out. Waltrip's actually tucked in behind the 26 of Todd Bodine. Dylan Murray comes to the top to pick up a draft from Harvick, who's got the 10 of Benson behind him. And a little further back is the 48 of Johnson. Got a slow car on the backstretch. This is the type of stuff that drivers are going to have to do today. You're going to have to make these blocks. You're going to have to go high. You're going to have to go low. You're going to have to really watch that energy. You see Dillon's on the bottom, comes up, almost misses a block on Harvick. Now he's got Harvick behind him going to the front. A little bit of a push. Now Harvick breaks out of the line. Looks like him and Dylan Murray are going to go to the front. During the pre-race show, Kevin Harvick was talking to Dylan Murray about possibly working out a plan together if they ever get near each other late in this race. They were talking about working out a plan to maybe get Harvick into the round of 8 in case of any issues today, because they know Dylan Murray is already in the playoffs. And Murray Racing, the team out of Colorado, get all their restrictor plate stuff from Richard Childress, because they had Dale Earnhardt driving for them, and Earnhardt's obviously was the best at these restrictor plate races, because he can see the air. He can see which line moves. He can see which line looks like it has the energy. And he obviously saw there Harvick getting trapped in the middle. Now he's got Johnny Benson behind Dylan, the 121 car. Benson down low. You got Johnson coming up top. Oh, he misses the block. Didn't think. Oh, and then Benson gets loose off 4. Coming to the line. So once that seems to settle down, it looks like the field has really separated themselves, I guess. Harvick and Benson got together and ended up separating themselves. Ended up really stacking up the line behind them. So already you see the field start to section themselves apart from the rest of from each other, which could be a preview to expect for next season because there's rumored to be smaller fuel cells for the restrictor plate races, which is designed to break up these big groups of 15, 20, 25 plus cars by making them pit more under green, which this rule will go into effect if the Budweiser shootout next season. But that's going to be at night, which means that race is also going to be at night. Dylan Murray tucked up behind Johnson. So you got Dylan Murray, Jimmy Johnson, and Michael Waltrip drafting each other. Murray pushing the 48. So far, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. And here comes Dylan with the momentum under the 48. You're on board the Hills Brothers Chevrolet. Out front, Tony Stewart has taken the lead from Mark Martin, by the way. Jeff Gordon has fallen to 6th. He's back there with Casey Kane and Ken Schrader in that second group of 3. So basically 90% of the top 10 is in packs of 3. Isn't a little 3-pack there. Oh, Johnson gets loose, gets in a wall trip, and that will stack them up. There's a slow car at the start-finish line. Unclear who that is because they've been real slow the past few laps. Check there. By the way, Junior is taking the lead, and you basically have just heard virtual Alabama scream their heads off. Jeff Green is the car that's been slowing up the past few laps. He's in turn 1. Obviously, he's lost the draft and very well could be in danger of falling a lap down. Just got out of turn 2. There. As it seems like the field's really settled down. They've really organized themselves. 3 cars in groups of 2. 3 cars in groups of 2, so that makes up the top 6. And they got Jeff Green barely creeping to the line, probably running half speed. NASCAR is looking at that after that lap 2 accident. And it was a big one. Looks like the leaders did get to 30, and they'll probably make quick work of him here shortly. So, 15 laps complete. Mark Martin is taking the lead. Ken Schrader is falling to 6th. And it seems like the little 3-pack has really gained a lot of time on Dylan Murway and the rest of the group, the cars behind them. We might be seeing green flag pit stops in the next 5 or 6 laps here. So we'll see how that goes. Jimmy Johnson and Michael Waltrip are slowly catching up to Dylan Murway by about 7/10 back from each other. But the little 6-car group thing that they've been doing up front has actually given Dylan Murway is currently 13 seconds back from the leader, as it looks like Robbie Gordon has worked into the mix with Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick was shuffled to 17th on that last go-around. Dylan Murway backs up to the bumper of Robbie Gordon. Waltrip has continued to free fall through the pack. There are a group of cars on pit lane as we speak. So we are in the middle of green flag stops. So this means we should probably see some of the leaders pitting next time in the next few laps. Unless there is some kind of strategy to mix things up. We saw Johnson did clip the apron in 3. He was not in any attempt to pass the 31 Robbie Gordon. But out front is the top 6 have really battled with each other the entire this first portion of this race. And the drivers that pitted looked like back markers. You got what looks like it was a white Dodge. Sean Robinson in the 49 off pit road. And you got, more cars. We got a pack. You got Jarrett and Sadler working together, 88 and 21. Johnson's backed up to the 88 of Jarrett. That's Newman. That was Newman. I thought that was Dale Jarrett in the 88. By the way, there is the lap car of Jeff Green there as well. Dylan will make quick work of him. Green will probably hold up his teammate. Look at how tight this group is now. Dylan Murway is in a mix with a lot of lapped cars. Same with a couple of chasers, actually. See how that looks. Harvick is back there. Newman. Marlin. Marlin needs to finish. He does not need to be caught up in somebody else's mess. Especially with these lap cars getting onto the racetrack. So far, Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, Jeremy Mayfield, they have all pitted. So they're all in that big wad behind. And I mean, it is a big wad of cars. And meanwhile, Terry Labonte and John Andretti start shuffling up front. They're battling for position. Terry Labonte almost won the first Talladega race, but a late yellow for Tony Stewart's spin basically gave the win to Frank Kimmel. While that goes on, everything else has seemed to organize them, settle down. We've ran the first 19 laps after that Jeff Green and Rusty Wallace accident, caution-free up to this point. We saw a wave of cars pit, mixed in with a couple lappers, or the lead group. You got Ryan Newman in the back bumper of Dylan Murway. Remember, Newman was eliminated after the round of 16 at Bristol. This could make for some interesting pit stop strategy here, depending on how these cars come down pit road and when they come down. Dylan Murway trying to cover any form of ground he can. He's got Labonte, Newman trapped on the inside, Harvick up top. Look at that, top to bottom. This is the type of stuff you have to do to watch this energy. You see Harvick on the top side. He's got another chaser pushing him. That's the 40 of Sterling Marlin. You got two Fords on the inside. I mean, everybody in the two lanes is fairly organized for the most part. You got two Fords on the inside with Dylan Murway, and then you got a Chevy, a Dodge, and a Ford, and another Chevy as well. And Dylan Murway goes to the bottom, then immediately moves up top to pick up Harvick. And then, he mistimed it. Gets into Newman. He's making some aggressive mirror driving type moves. Look at it. He's been bottom to top to bottom the past several laps, just getting to the line. And it looks like a couple more drivers may be low on fuel. Jarrett, Burton, and Labonte. Unclear what that was all about. Murway gaining all the speed he can. Drivers coming to the line. Here with we've ran 22 laps under green ever since that incident. We should be seeing pit stops the next couple laps. And look at all the time Dylan's lost because he's trying to stay out as long as he can, I guess. Just trying to block this group. He was 7 seconds, now he's 8 seconds, then 9 seconds, then 13 seconds. Dylan Murway is 25 seconds back from the lead car, which is the 6 of Mark Martin. Surprisingly, I'm just waiting for some of these guys to pit. Murway throws the top block to the top, gets into Jarrett. Jarrett checks up. Looks like they're still green. Comes to 22 of Ward Burton. Nearly 30 seconds apart. Wow, look at how far back the lead that leader is. Dylan Murway is 30 seconds back from the 6 of Mark Martin. Martin needs a win to make it to the round of 8. He is no stranger to these kinds of this success. And Rusty Wallace will go around here in turn 3. And it looks like it's a single car incident. So they race to the caution flag. Mark Martin was enjoying a nice cruise. Rusty Wallace kind of kissed the wall. He was obviously day has gone from bad to worse for Rusty Wallace and that 2 team. Got caught, had a good run, got caught up in that lap 2 incident with Ward Burton. And not really the best of times for that team. And here comes Dylan Murway. He came in 7th, comes out 7th. 18 laps to go. Green flag into the air. The leader is Earnhardt Jr. with a push from Gordon. All Gordon needs to do, finish this race. Frank Kimmel, the spring winner, he's having a nice day today in 6th. Obviously taking advantage of some pit strategy as well. Look at all these lap cars, though. Dylan Murway closing that gap here. You're going to see a lot more take in these next couple laps, especially if these guys that need a win, these guys like Junior and Martin, I expect those two to get real chippy, actually, trying to get to the lead. We see Jeff Gordon is actually the leader, but he's in line with a ton of lap cars. That actually caused everybody there to check up. Which is definitely what Dylan Murway needed. He's got Earnhardt Jr. trying to follow him. Ward Burton on the outside. He's one of the lap cars. Dale Jarrett having a very tough day here. He's been caught up in he came pitted early, and now he's several laps down. He's back of this group. Dylan Murway actually taking him 3 wide with Atwood to the inside. Park up top. There's Mayfield in the 19. Here comes Dylan. Could he get Gordon here? He's got a big mix of lap cars to deal with as well. Labonte holds him up. Murway runs Mayfield up the track. Gordon trying to pass Andretti. Let him battle, guys. Come on. You got 3 lap cars just basically holding Jeff Gordon up. Dylan Murway's to the back bumper. And Junior and Martin do not need this. They don't need to be caught in the middle of this group. They need to be up there battling with Jeff Gordon and Dylan Murway for the win. The problem is all these lap cars are just going slower than them. They can't go anywhere. And Gordon has been able to make his way out of all this traffic and basically take the lead when Junior got held up. There you see Steve Park in the back. Gordon tucks back inside in the line with Waltrip. Kind of a surprising decision. Dale Jarrett and Steve Park coming back. Actually, very surprising to see Gordon doing this. He's got Waltrip on the outside. He's giving him all the bottom lane. Really surprised Gordon hasn't taken it. Dylan can't quite seem to get there. And Dale Jarrett, with a lot of damage to his car, can't seem to push Park. So Waltrip's just blocking Gordon and he's getting a push from his teammate. Gordon can't quite seem to clear him. Here it is. This could be the race-winning pass. Gordon tucks in line. Dylan Murway is there. Almost a big moment. He had the spot. Dylan will take it here. New leader, Talladega. Now, if you're the leader, Dylan Murway, you need to get wide. Make that bumper as wide as you humanly can. Get aggressive if you have to with a pass. Try to shuck him out of the way. And then Kevin Harvick is up there in third. Where did he come from in the Goodwrench car? Dylan tries to get past Park and Waltrip. Gordon to the back bumper of Harvick. Jarrett pushing Dylan Murway. Look at the damage to the right front of the 88. $11 to go. Dylan with a full second ahead of Jeff Gordon. Very similar battle. Anytime you see Dylan and Gordon get near each other, you know it's going to be fun to watch. And Jarrett, the playoff driver, is involved. Jarrett crashes. Does anybody else get in him? They race back to the caution flag. Jarrett crashes off turn 2. And it looks like Gordon with a lot of speed. They are going to take the yellow flag with 10 to go, so it will be a single file restart. Dylan will take the yellow flag. Gordon is second. Wow. Jarrett with a hard shot on that inside wall. And amazingly, no one hit him. Though we may be heading for a big one here. Pace car is off. 8 laps to settle it. Dylan brings him down awfully slow. Gordon down low. That may have snookered him for Harvick. Harvick with momentum on the top side. Who does Dylan block? Does he stay down low? Or does he take Harvick? Remember, Harvick doesn't have a whole lot of help. Now Gordon's on the bottom lane. He's got Spencer on the inside. Can Kevin Harvick keep Dylan out front? Gordon with the lead in turn 3. Oh, contact, they touch. Dylan to block Harvick. Top to bottom. Newman on the inside lane. He's got a push from the 8 of Junior. Where did Newman come from? He's in the middle. He's on the bottom. They're 3 wide further back. Who does Harvick block? Who does Dillon block? Harvick to the top side with Gordon. That left Newman wide open. Wide open for the lead. There's Junior back there as well. He's got a push from the 98 of Casey Kane. He missed the block. Newman and Dillon bang. Dillon barely squeezes in front of Earnhardt Jr. Newman to the lead at Talladega. Five to go at Talladega. This is the racing fans came and stayed for. Now, if you're Harvick and Newman, don't get out front, but you also need to get that bottom lane organized, because if you want to have a shot, you don't need the side-by-side battling, because if you're a guy like Junior, you want to go. You want to go. Next time by will be the red flag lap. They fight for third. Can Harvick take the lead? Junior almost turns Dillon in the tri-oval. Ryan Newman. He got into the chase with a win at Watkins Glen. He was eliminated at the round of 12 after the round of 16 at Bristol. Dillon now to cover Gordon for third. 4 laps to go. Now Gordon to push the 121. Junior needs a win. Update as of right now on points. Harvick is your leader. His competition, 90% of his competitions run very poorly today, so Junior just needs to hold on. Mayfield in 38th. He's had a tough day. Dale Jarrett is out. Rusty Wallace is out. The only competition Earnhardt Jr. needs to worry about, in all honesty, he's got enough of a cushion. He could just ride. Junior can. Gordon trying to fight Dillon for third. They touch. They bumped. They crashed. They're mixing it up behind. 3 laps to go. Kevin Harvick leads. Can he hold on? If Harvick wins, Harvick will be through to the round of 8 with the win. He will advance, and Jarrett will be out. Sorry. And Mayfield will be out if Harvick wins. Oh, Spencer to the inside. This will be the race right here as they take the caution flag. What will Dillon do? Spencer spins to the inside, and Kevin Harvick has taken the caution flag with 3 laps to go. Out of turn 4. the timeliest of wins for Kevin Harvick today at Talladega.
We sure saw a lot of yellow flags.
Well, it kept the vehicles, which I'm sure made it extra exciting for the fans.
The Hills Brothers coffee car finished in the top 10.
Of course, all these teams want to win every race, but a top 10 finish is still a great accomplishment at the racetrack.
We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on the voice of NASCAR, MRN. Next up is Martinsville.
The 8 drivers that advanced to Martinsville and the 4 that my foot are left out. So, by the way, Kevin Harvick wins today at Talladega. Ryan Newman second, Frank Kimmel third, Jimmy Johnson fourth, Casey Kane fifth, Dylan Murray sixth, Jeff Gordon seventh, Earnhardt Jr. eighth, Sterling Marlin ninth, and Bobby Hamilton 10th. 4 caution flags today. So, post-race stats, Kevin Harvick earns $166,000, 4 caution flags for 7 laps, 13 lead changes, race took an hour, average speed 124 miles an hour, and the margin of victory under caution again. So, the winners in the round of 12, Dylan Murray, Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick all advanced to the round of 8 on wins, and they will be the first 8 seeds. First driver to advance on points, Jeff Gordon. Second driver, Sterling Marlin. Third driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And the fourth driver, off of a lot of shuffling, Kurt Busch. The drivers that are eliminated, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Jarrett would be eliminated, by the way. Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, Rusty Wallace. For Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, and Bill Elliott all are eliminated from contention. So, 6 drivers that advance. Mark Martin. Actually, no. We're still trying to figure this out here based off points. So Rusty Wallace actually takes out Mark Martin. So Martin, Mayfield, Jarrett, and shit, I can't count. I don't know why. So Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Jeremy Mayfield, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, Jeremy Mayfield, and Bill Elliott all are eliminated. Mark Martin holds on by 1 point. The 8 drivers that will make it, Dylan Murray, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, Earnhardt Jr., Sterling Marlin, and Jeff Gordon. So, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 8. Even though Mark Martin had a tough day, Bill Elliott didn't really do much of anything after starting in the back. So Mark Martin advances by 1 point. So, Chevrolet has dominated the entire playoffs, too. Jeff Gordon and Dylan Murray split the first two races. Jimmy Johnson won at Charlotte, and Kevin Harvick won at Talladega. We've got a couple Fords. Let's get some representation from them. So for the awards, Mark Martin won the pole, led the most laps. Greg Biffle passed the most cars. Terry Labonte had the fastest lap. Ryan Newman was the best rookie, and Johnny Benson made the best pass. Dylan Murray keeps it close in the Rookie of the Year battle with Jimmy Johnson. Mark Martin leads everybody with 7 poles this season. And Chevrolet continues to open their lead in the manufacturer's standings because they've hit a stranglehold on the NASCAR playoffs. And Dylan Murray is the EA Sports Lap champion as of right now. So round of 8 preview. Martinsville, 125 laps. None of these tracks are over 1.5 miles. None of these tracks. Smallest road course we have at Texas. If this ought to be good. Drivers have to focus on Martinsville so they don't have to deal with Texas next week. The Texas road course. That ought to make for some interesting racing. And then 8 will become 4 at Phoenix.